Hey, Composing Gloves here, and we are going to review Albion 5 Tundra. It's a sample library based on playing things really soft and things that are unique to particular instruments that just haven't been captured before. So we're going to look at that. I'm wearing a hat. I've written a track. This is a track using only Albion 5 Tundra, which is really cool. Now, if you're not familiar with the concept of this library, they are recording stuff really, really soft. I think I just said that too. But anyways, that's the idea. So it's a really, really good library for sort of those subtle moments, maybe scary films. I was recently scoring a scary film, and it worked It sounded so good. Like, it was perfect. Now, if you want to get big and like really epic, it can pull it off, but in that sort of majestic way. And it can't do all aspects of it. Like, its brass doesn't get brassy enough, and the percussion they have in it doesn't get boomy and big enough. You know, they don't have that aspects to the library. It's a library focused on those more nuanced sounds. So I've written a track that has some of that going on. It's got both of these sort of going on. So I would supplement some of the things I'm about to show you with other libraries, just to give it the boost it needs. But for the most part, it sounds phenomenal. So here it is. That's that. So, I wrote that. It's just it took me about an hour and a half to do, and it's a very intuitive library. And I also have some workflow boosts that recently have just really helped me. Now, there were some clicks and pops occasionally. That is a result of my CPU just freaking out. Not a big deal. I could increase the buffer size, but if I play any stuff for you right now, I don't want there to be any lag. So I have 2 instances of Contact to load it up. I'm not utilizing one to its fullest. It's just the way normally I do my strings here and stuff, but this wasn't going to be like some mind-blowingly big orchestral piece, so I didn't need that many. And I stuck to only, the Tundra stuff, Albion 5. So right off the bat, we start off with these strings. In the string patches, I'm not going to spend a huge time on the strings. They've got legato patches and a bunch of other stuff inside of here. But it's very intuitive to work with. It's pretty much everything you could want a string library to be. There's nothing really out of the ordinary here. They've got shorts, and they have like three or four sets of different kinds of shorts. And then they have this other one that's, if you come in here, they have this strings high main, strings high soft and wild, strings low main. And they bleed sort of across the range. There's no violas, I believe, 0 violas, which is sort of an interesting move, but they sound great. And I use them a lot to supplement. And there's some really, really cool sort of, what do you call those things? Ornaments. They have these unusual timbres, watch. So we have like Silken Long. It's super soft. I'm sorry about that, but I don't. And then they have the same thing, but for shorts. And then they have frozen longs, gypsies. They have these fifths. That's so cool. And then they have the stops. Really, really cool. Fifths long. Very handy dandy stuff. So the whole idea is just being really, really, really soft. So just really, yeah, just that's pretty much the strings. That's if you wanted to hear more of the strings, you go check out some of the demos and see what they did with the strings. My thing that I really enjoy is the brass and the woodwinds. So here's the brass high library, and they have some interesting patches. They have these air patches, which are just the air, just the air. It's literally all it is. So if we were to play this, it's low. There it is. It's just air, but it's the players blowing through their horns. And on flute, it works really great because on flute, when you play it, it actually, the air is the same pitch as the note you're playing. It's a little less apparent on some instruments, but on flute, it's super obvious. And the woods high is just flute, which is a little disappointing in some regards. I thought there'd be, you know, more clarinet and stuff, but the wood low supplements, you know, all that other sort of timbral stuff. But then it doesn't go as high as the woods highs, and the clarinets could play higher. I don't understand what the deal was on that. So I personally would have really enjoyed having some clarinets up there, but they didn't do that. We have these trills, you know, all the stuff you'd expect to be there. If we were to, oh, I am on the brass high patch still, and I'm pushing the brass low patch. So if we go to the trills. And they, of course, have their microphone configurations. Oh, okay. They have their microphone configurations. They have these granular fluttered, which it's like, these are really useful. Super useful. Check them out. You hear like trumpets coming in and out. They have a similar thing for the flutes. They have two variations on that. And then they have some mutes and some other stuff in here. That's really, really cool. But on the string side of things, where is it? And as far as working with these things, it sounds good. So it's not really all that hard to come up with melodies or anything with this stuff. Now, these are mostly timbral patches. So if you have things like the symphonic brass library or any of the BML stuff, you're going to be fine. Like, you'll just write your melodies with those, and you can use these to accent parts of your composition. It sounds so good. So here we've got our, let's talk about these woodwinds. I'm going to kind of just brush through this. Actually, while we're here, let's talk about the percussion real quick. This percussion is just really soft. Like, you can see the potential for bigness, but then when you try and play it loud, it like doesn't get loud enough. It's not like epic enough in those ways. It just doesn't lend itself to that. So you're going to have to sort of process it on your own. You see this one also doesn't have very much, there's like no microphones or anything like that. Like, it's pretty much the way it is. So really, really nice for like those light percussive hits, like that small stuff. But beyond that, that's as much as it does. Now, maybe they included this just out of a whim, or they said we need some sort of percussion or whatever it was. I'm glad to have it rather than not have it. It's interesting to see what came out. They do have these DNA patches, these pads, and they use samples to generate these pads. So they're super organic. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. And they have loads of these. If we go over to pad 2. Really great if you play like low notes on this. Whoa, that motorcycle passing by at that exact moment like fit really well with this sound. I'm not sure how well it fit over the microphone, but it fit super well over this because he like passed right as I let go of the note. What the heck? That's weird. So the woodwinds. On to woodwinds. I'm kind of just going through this because they already have some pretty like kick butt reviews of this stuff. On the woodwinds though, they have the same patches. Check it out. Whoops, that's another pad. That's the woods. Here are the woodwinds. Or the string's low. Now these are the high woods. And of course, the Spitfire, you get all the same, you know, the expression, reverb, tightness. You get all their controls to really augment the sound the way you want it. But you get that flute patch. That's the pad. But they also have these, where are they? Arctic overblow. This is strings. I want woods. There. And these things are cool right here. I'm talking to woods highs. This is woods low. Why can't I get the right patch? I'm like, that doesn't sound like right. That's ridiculous. That is so cool. That is such a useful patch. Oh man, so good. Oh man, you could just use that in so many things. That's so awesome. This is awesome stuff. They have these overblowing patches too, and they have the really loud ones, which also those come in handy all the time. Ornaments like that. You have the shorts, and then you have like what I would consider the real shorts. Very, very handy. The lows have the rest of the woodwind section. I don't know why they didn't, again, I don't know why they didn't make it to the highs. So if we come over here to the lows, it says bass clarinet, but that's just the name of this by default. So if we were to go over here, go to the shorts. See, you hear all the reeds and stuff coming in now. But the clarinets can go higher, so once again, see, I'm just really miffed by this. I don't know why it bothers me so much. So that's pretty much the library. There's a whole bunch of pads and there's some loops and some other stuff, but I haven't touched that too much yet. I recently got it. I am completely satisfied with it. I mean, there's like the two things, the percussion and then the fact that the woods highs. I'm like, what the heck happened? Because they still sound friggin' amazing, and you'd sacrifice certain qualities. It'd be cool to have maybe 2 wood high patches. Because, you know, I play clarinet, so, like, it really bothers me. I have no idea why it bothers me so much. But, well, I do, because I play clarinet. Working with it's totally great. Now, some of these things, the expression didn't control the dynamics. I mean, the dynamics knob didn't. The expression did. So that was something that I had to, like, kind of figure out. And they do have typical ways of treating the key switches with either the CC values. If we open it up here, you can go in and change the switches to be the UACC if you are into that sort of a thing. I prefer the actual key switches. This plugin right here, in case you're wondering, allows me to output the different articulations from Contact, and so I can write with it, and that's why some notes are different colors than other notes. They trigger the different articulations, so I can layer them in with different articulations on the same channel if I wanted, or the same MIDI piano roll, not the same channel. That would contradict what I just said about the whole different channel thing. So if you have a piano roll that can take in multiple channels of MIDI, this whole 16 channel thing, then you can probably use this plug. It's by Blake Robinson, the Synthetic Orchestra. Just go ahead and look up his name and you'll find it. It's a free plug. He developed it for FL though, so I don't know how it'll work for you, but it works excellent for me. It's such a good thing. You do have to make your own presets though for it to get the full run out of it. So you may need to, I'll do a video on this at some point in time. But anyways, the library itself is phenomenal. I have no real qualms with the library. Just I had expectations that were just, everyone's got expectations, and then when you get it, you see, what was fulfilled and what wasn't fulfilled. And hopefully this review is useful to you. You found something that you liked about it. If there's more questions you have about it, let me know. I used the track to demonstrate it because that's really the best feel is like when you're composing, is it natural? Does it work out? And for me, it worked out excellent. Sounds great. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.